Greetings from W.M.S.T episode number 26. We've got Ziggler back today, so let's introduce you to the rest of the cast. We've got, as I mentioned, editor-in-chief, Ziggler.
Boo.
Shawn is so fucking stupid.
Welcome back, Ziggler. How was your
He
vacation?
is such a fucking idiot. If I had a pound for every time Shawn made a stupid remark.
And we've got everybody's favorite weirdo, Cam.
Remember, kids, sea bears and fairy tales are real.
Thank you for that. And we've got the ladies' man, Father Suplex himself, Shawn.
Oh, thank you for the best intro, and welcome to Devil Time.
Yay. And as always, I am your host, Syed. And tonight we're going to review Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. We're going to talk MCU Phase 4, Raw Reunion, and much more. So I'm going to kick us off with the review for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I had the chance to see it last night. And this is one of the biggest movies I anticipated for the summer. And it really didn't disappoint. I thought it was a really fun time. I really enjoyed it. One of the standouts from this movie and the two men who really carried it, Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt. Their characters really were the highlight of this movie. They did the load. They carried the load for this movie. I honestly loved these two interacting, sitting down and just having a conversation. So overall, I felt like these two really carried the movie. I liked the story of how they feel like there has-beens in an industry that's moving away from their kind of actors, and I feel like it's a commentary on current Hollywood in a way, even though this takes place in the late 60s, because Hollywood is going more towards being franchise-driven rather than being star-driven. And I think this movie gives us a glimpse into what that's like for the other actors who are just used as somebody to play a role rather than his star power being used to promote the movie. It's more like genre based now. So I thought that was a good commentary on the current situation as well. In my opinion, the best way to describe this movie is fantastical love letters to films and Hollywood. I think Tarantino really gives the film goers and movie lovers something to just enjoy and appreciate, because the characters in the movie are also, they're talking about movies and enjoying TV just like we would when we're watching something with our friends. And the one big thing with this movie is I think a lot of people are not giving the second act a chance. I personally thought that the second act kind of was lingering a lot. Like, it was the slowest part of the movie. A lot of dialogue, but I feel like I personally was very patient during that second act. I didn't check out as some people said they did. And I feel like it paid off into one of the best third acts I've ever seen in theaters. That was the loudest reaction in the theater for that third act. It pays off really well. And I think people, if they, stick it through the second act, are really going to enjoy that third act. And it's one of the best I've ever seen. And I'll definitely go into more detail next week for the spoiler talk. My overall score for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is an 8 out of 10. All right. So with that, let's move on to our next topic. We had the Phase 4 revelation for the MCU at Comic-Con last weekend. Since I've already talked a lot during the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood review, I'll let somebody else take it over for me right now. But before I do that, here is the Phase 4 lineup. As you can see, a lot of new projects like the Eternals and Shang-Chi, and a lot of uh, returning characters like Doctor Strange and Thor. Uh, but I'll get into more detail about what I thought was cool about this announcement and what I thought was kind of disappointing and meh in a way. But before I do that, let's get to somebody else. Shawn, what were your thoughts on the Phase 4 revelations?
I'm mostly excited about the Blade announcement. That is probably the coolest thing they could have announced because that was the most unexpected. And I think Mahershala Ali is gonna be really fucking cool. And hopefully they incorporate Wesley Snipes as the mentor in that. I want to see it so badly, but yeah. Kevin Feige said it's gonna be part of Phase 5. So. Oh well, but overall, super excited, but mostly for Blade because Mahershala.
Phase 5 is going to be insane because Phase 5 is going to have Blade, Fantastic Four, and the X-Men. It's going to be
Avengers
fucking
5.
Crazy.
Avengers 5 is confirmed too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Phase 5 is going to be fucking insane.
And we're going to be like 25 when that happens.
Okay.
I'm just pointing it out.
Okay.
Yeah. And Ziggler, what were your thoughts on it since you started already? Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, the Phase 4, like the movie that I'm looking forward to the most is Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. I love the first Doctor Strange. I think it's super underrated, and having Scarlet Witch in this too, it's gonna be fucking crazy, and I honestly cannot wait for that movie. I'm not so hot on the Thor Love and Thunder. I don't know about seeing Jane Foster taking up the mantle of Thor. That's gonna be kind of weird, and I don't really like Natalie Portman as that character. So, yeah. But I'm really also looking forward to the Falcon and the Winter Soldier series on Disney Plus. So that's gonna be fun. But I don't really like the idea of like a Black Widow movie. I know that's kind of like bad to say, but I don't know. I think it's like an underwhelming first Phase 4 movie to me, So.
I mean, I agree with you.
I mean,
That's she's
already like a dead character,
Right. I honestly agree with you, Ziggler. I feel like she should have had the first female superhero.
Yeah.
But I feel like that the time for Black Widow's popularity's peak is gone. I feel like.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be like taking place like between Civil War and Infinity War, and it's just like
David Harbour's in it, so that should be cool.
Isn't it a prequel?
Yeah, it's a prequel, and a prequel like to kick off Phase 4. It's kind of weird. I'd rather like something like I'd rather the Eternals kick off Phase 4. That would have been a good kickoff, and then Black Widow can be in there somewhere, or Black Widow can be like a Disney Plus exclusive movie.
Right. I think you're right about that. You're pretty spot on.
I don't know. I just have like no interest. I'm probably still gonna watch it opening night just because it's an MCU movie, and like every MCU movie is an event. But yeah.
Yeah, I definitely see what you're saying.
Yeah. But as for the shows, I have no idea what the fuck What If is. Do you know what If is?
So What If is supposed to be a animated series with the original cast voicing their own animated characters, and then taking showing alternate realities. Like what if Hulk? What if like one of the comic book stories like Kevin Feige talked about? What if Hulk had the brain of
Black Widow?
What? What if Hulk had the brain of Bruce Banner? Or what if Peggy Carter took the super soldier serum instead of Steve Rogers? That kind of thing.
Oh, well, it did sound cool. Like, then you said it was like an animation. I was like, oh, really, animation.
Yeah, because it's gonna cost
What's
less.
so bad about animation?
I love animation, but
You
like
just said
not for an
animation.
MCU movie or a TV show. My bad. I
Oh,
don't
I
know.
love
It's like
animation. Ugh, animation.
MCU is like a special like live action thing. Like animation, I don't know.
It's like Disney Plus, so it's like
Yeah, I know. But yeah,
whatever.
but also that fucking Loki that that fucking Loki logo. What the fuck were they thinking with that?
I
That looks
sent it
so
to
awful.
Tyler to like be like,
I
what the
thought
heck,
it
Tyler?
was I thought it was like a fan made one at first. I was like, oh no, that's real. Like what the fuck is that logo? But yeah, the TV show I'm looking forward to the most is Falcon and Winter Soldier because I love both those characters, and I guess the second TV show we're looking forward to the most is WandaVision. They need to change that name though. Just be like Scarlet Witch and the Vision or something like that.
I know that title needs work.
Wait, wasn't the comic called
Which one?
the
Vision
Scarlet
Wanda.
Witch comic?
Yeah, I think it was called like Scarlet Witch and the Vision, something like
Which
that.
sounds way better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why,
And,
you don't like Marvel's creativity?
I mean, if their creativity with that Loki logo was off.
Yeah, I mean,
WandaVision. It has a
Marvel
nice ring to
doesn't.
it.
Yeah, that's definitely one thing. You know, Marvel does
I
a
mean,
bad 10 out of 10, but
they
at the same time,
they couldn't even put like a simple ampersand between Wanda and Vision.
No.
Or just call it Vision and the Scarlet Witch like the comic says.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you have the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
I know, right? Anyways, but yeah. I'm just
Yeah.
not looking forward to that Black Widow movie kicking off, but you know, I'm still gonna watch it.
yeah, true.
Okay.
And Cam, your thoughts on the Phase 4 announcement and movies you that have piqued your interest?
To come right after one of the biggest sagas in film history is not really an easy task, but it's really gonna be cool what they see, to see what they're gonna do. I mean, Black Widow starting out is a very weird choice, considering the fact that they killed her off in Endgame. But hey, I'll see it. I mean, they should have done this like years ago when she was a very popular character. Like Winter Soldier.
They should have done it like after Iron Man 2.
Yeah, either that
No.
or
Okay, next.
the movies that I actually want to see: Love and Thunder and the new Doctor Strange movie. I really liked the first Strange movie, but it just feels like it doesn't get that much appreciation. But Multiverse of Madness is actually going to be a horror movie, and the first horror movie for the MCU. It's actually That's actually piqued my interest because I actually really like horror, but I'm just wondering how they're gonna do it. For the TV series, what if it's fascinating just for the fact that a lot of the original characters are voicing their titular characters? Falcon and Winter Soldier, WandaVision, Loki, despite its god awful logo, they all look great. And Phase 5 to jump in, Blade, Fantastic Four. Like, I'm glad that they're actually going to give the Fantastic Four some time to breathe because we don't need another one right now.
Right.
Okay.
And going back to the point of them coming off of one of the biggest sagas with the Avengers Endgame and going into another batch of movies, it's truly one of the few franchises that can actually do that. Because, like always say, Marvel has a strong catalog of characters they can go to and explore, which is a luxury not every franchise has.
I honestly can't wait to see Adam Warlock on screen for the first time because he's such a badass character. I cannot wait to see who plays him too.
Oh yeah,
I thought
that
they
is
were
very
going to
true.
announce who was going to play him at Comic-Con. I honestly thought that they were going to announce that, but unfortunately they didn't.
Apparently everyone thinks
Yeah.
it's Zac Efron.
Yeah,
What?
it's a big rumor. What,
Wow.
you didn't hear about that?
I didn't. I think I heard a little bit about
I mean,
Alexander Skarsgård playing him.
Yeah. They both looked the part too. So
Let's have Bryan
Yeah.
Cranston play Adam Warlock.
okay.
All right,
Okay.
and
Bryan
we
Cranston
just
to go.
had another crew member come in. We've got Tyler right here,
Boo.
just in time to talk about Phase 4. Tyler,
Boo.
tell our
friggin'
series your
timing.
thoughts. Yeah, what freaking timing, man! I was almost gonna say,
You know what? We
man,
should kick
I
him
wanted
out
Tyler
for
to
being
be
late.
here. Nah, it's all good, man. So Tyler, what were your thoughts on the Phase 4 announcement at Comic-Con, and which movies are you looking forward to the most?
Movie-wise, I'm definitely looking forward to Thor the most, just because I'm excited for Taika to come back, and I'm also excited for Doctor Strange because Wanda's gonna be in it, and it ties into the WandaVision series, which we'll see how that works. But I'm excited for that one because it's supposed to be a scary movie. All of that. Those are the two main movies I'm excited for.
Why
For the
not
TV
Blade?
shows, well, yeah, Blade 2, but we don't know if that's
Th-
Phase 4,
It's actually
whatever.
Blade 1. Blade 2 isn't out yet.
Anyways, for the TV shows, I'm
Blade
excited for the
2
Loki
happened like 20
show.
years
I'm
ago.
joking, you ass.
I'm excited for the Loki show, obviously, because he's my favorite. And also Falcon and Winter Soldier. I'm also excited for the Hawkeye show because Jeremy Renner will actually get a chance for, like, the spotlight. Because he's always in, like, the back seat, and he never really gets to shine. So
Hey, he
I'm
was
excited
great
to
in
see what
Endgame.
he can do.
When
Yeah,
he,
but
when he watched Natasha fall, that was fucking heartbreaking.
Compared to, like, everyone else, though, he doesn't really get too much. So
Yeah, he watched her fall and didn't do anything about it. What a selfish prick.
But I
Okay.
still gotta get
Yeah,
the still.
Yeah, you gotta rewatch that scene again because obviously you didn't get the gist.
you might want to double check.
It's 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm exhausted. I'm sorry for what I'm saying. Just cut
Like,
that
go to
out.
fucking bed.
Okay, fine. Bye.
You gotta finish the job though. Finish this.
But yeah, I'm most excited for
Don't
Thor,
anybody else.
Love and Thunder, and then probably Loki for the TV shows.
And Blade.
Yeah, should be pretty exciting. So for me personally,
Blade is Phase
my
5.
takeaways from my takeaways from Phase 4, particularly the Eternals, is something nobody's really talking about because nobody knows what the heck the Eternals even are. Like, they're even more obscure than the Guardians of the Galaxy before Guardians 1 came out. So I talked about this on the channel before about Marvel taking more risks and doing more obscure characters like Guardians, and I think this is a good start. I have literally no idea what the Eternals are like. They're immortals who've lived on the Earth for thousands of years, so that should be some. They should tap into some mythos and whatnot that people like. So I think that can be interesting. And of course, Angelina Jolie being cast as one of the Eternals. That's a huge casting for the MCU. Really looking forward to that. A lot of people were wondering if we were getting 10 movies in Phase 4. Well, five. Just to clarify, 5 of them are movies and 5 are Disney Plus shows. I don't know. Maybe it's a little bit too much. Like Ziggler was talking about MCU being a movie thing, not a TV show kind of thing. It's kind of a risk to overexpose the audience to the world of MCU. It's asking a little bit too much to watch everything because I personally know that I'm not going to watch everything that's on the slate TV show wise, but we'll see how that pays off. The big announcement was Thor: Love and Thunder. I feel like that created the most buzz out of everything. But personally, I was kind of underwhelmed by the announcement of Jane Foster returning and becoming Thor. Even though the announcement was kind of clear, I still don't understand though why? I mean, Chris Hemsworth Thor's popularity is at an all-time high right now. Instead of, I think maybe this is kind of a misdirection where we have both Thors, the female Thor and the Chris Hemsworth Thor, and hopefully Chris Hemsworth's Thor stays the focus because I feel like his story arc needs to be realized even more. Uh, and another big thing for me was the omission of a lot of big titles that we were actually looking forward to hearing about, like Black Panther 2, Guardians 3, Spider-Man 3. Now, they don't necessarily need to be part of Phase 4, but we heard nothing about them. And I feel like those movies can possibly be part of Phase 5, because Phase 4 is only lasting for 2 years. We're getting 5 movies in 2 years, which is a pretty average for amount of movies that Marvel does. But still, I feel like compared to Phase 3, Phase 4 is going to be an afterthought. Because the big thing with Phase 4 is there was no Avengers announcement at the end. Like, there was no date for another Avengers movie. The Phase 4 is just going to end after Thor Love and Thunder. Which is an odd thing, because every MCU phase has had an Avengers movie at the end. Even though Avengers hasn't been the last movie every time, it has been one of the last movies. So I don't know, it's kind of weird, and it ends up being kind of meh.
For Phase 2 and Phase 3, it wasn't the last movie.
Well, it was one of the last movies, like second last.
Yeah.
And Phase 4 doesn't have Avengers anywhere. So that's what
I think they're just waiting for like Avengers 5 to have like the Fantastic Four and X-Men in it.
That makes sense to me.
A breather after Endgame.
Yeah, because Infinity War and Endgame was like, it was like fucking like,
it was a mass.
Yeah. It was. We need a break from Avengers right now. Just like have like more like character movies.
Yeah, they're gonna build it up for a little bit.
I totally get that, but the only thing for me is when you look back at Phase 4, we're probably not gonna see it as memorable as Phase 3, which was the best phase, and it won't compare to Phase 4 at all.
Phase 3 is gonna be hard to top, but Phase 5 is gonna it might top Phase 3.
You very well might be right. The missing titles like Black Panther, Guardians, and Spider-Man, and Avengers, and X-Men,
Blade,
Fantastic Four, Blade. Yeah. Those are probably going to be part of Phase 5, which I feel like is going to be the best one since Phase 3.
And it's going to be announced like Comic-Con like in like a few years after Thor Love and Thunder probably.
Yeah. So I guess in a way this is Marvel's breathing room in a way. Even though they're doing 10 titles, it's like no Avengers and all that, but still Phase 4 is kind of their buffer before Phase 5. So yeah, good stuff all around. All right, so with that, let's talk about Raw Reunion. We had kind of a weird episode of Raw recently where a lot of the legends came back. It was a nostalgia fest to pop the ratings, of course. But I wanted to get Cam's opinion on the episode. Cam, what did you think about Raw Reunion, and what does the nostalgia fest say about the current product?
Now, they do these reunion shows every once in a while. Like last year was Raw 25. This year we have this one. But if I'm being honest, it's better than just having an average generic episode of Raw. They need to do more theme-based episodes. I actually liked Raw 25 just for how different it was rather than just being a boring, regular generic episode. Sure, it had all the legends coming in and basically it being the legends matter more than the current wrestlers on the roster type of episode that they do all the time. But other than that, I had fun with it. I had a very good balance of current and the past. I mean, but then again, I'm basically saying it was good because of the 24/7 title skits. But as to answer the second question, nostalgia over the current roster, that basically says that they don't have any newer wrestlers to rely on. Sure, there's Roman Reigns, but he's literally been doing nothing, basically in a nothing feud with Shane McMahon. What about Seth Rollins? What about Seth Rollins? What about Becky Lynch? What about Becky Lynch? That literally just says, who are you people? Insert Patrick Star meme here.
Right. I think that was the biggest problem for me for the show and just the product overall. I think it's a good commentary on how things are going. Like they didn't give an attempt to even put over any characters that are current and on Raw every week. I feel like that was a big missed opportunity.
The only instance of them actually putting someone over with a legend was Bray Wyatt with the new Fiend character.
Right, with Mick Foley, him taking out Mick Foley. I like that, yeah. Good interaction. But I think that we needed more of that rather than less of that. But yeah, that's very true. It was kind of a farewell episode too. Like for some reason, the episode just ended on a farewell note. Like no hype for SummerSlam. Hey, there's SummerSlam in 2 weeks. Who cares? So yeah. Shawn, did you watch the episode? I know you had a few comments before our recording started.
I enjoyed that Bray Wyatt got over, massively with Mick Foley, because this new character is gonna be extremely interesting and it's fucking scary as fuck, which I really like. Seeing Stone Cold and Ric Flair and Hulk Hogan and the NWO and DX, I've only seen clips of it because I didn't bother watching an episode of Raw ever. So it was good to see some of the familiar faces back. Nostalgia was good. And I mean, the ratings are probably sadly gonna plummet down again after this, but it's all. We got Heyman and Bischoff doing things now. It should be increasing all the what's it called, the views now, giving it an edgier feel. But definitely, Raw reunion was pretty special.
Yeah, very true. All right, so for our final topic, this is less of a topic and more of a new celebratory. If you have any kind of drink, just grab it real quick, because Avengers Endgame has officially passed Avatar to become the highest grossing movie of all time, not adjusted for inflation.
Let's all do a cyber cheers.
Yeah.
Hound, stop interrupting Syed.
Oh, shut the fuck up, asshole. Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about Avengers Endgame and all that when Hound was here, but now we're all here and the movie has obviously passed Avatar, which is a pretty huge milestone. But then again, it's
yeah, I'm so bad.
Disney passes Disney because Avatar's owned by Disney now. But it's still a really cool thing that a comic book movie is the highest grossing movie of all time. It's something that I kind of expected. Honestly, it's not even surprising. After the first weekend, I was like, yeah, they're gonna pass Avatar, no matter what happens. It's gonna happen. So, what were your guys' thoughts on Avengers Endgame finally becoming number one?
I'll be honest, I thought it wouldn't happen after how slow it got.
Yeah, true. Some people were like, yeah, it's not gonna happen.
The end.
Yeah.
Without the re-release, I don't think I would have hit it.
Yeah, it helped a bit. That's for sure.
like you said, like the first weekend it opened with $1 billion, wasn't it? Like I'm like, yeah, it's got this easily, and then it slowed down
Yeah,
as
because
it got
everyone
closer and
saw it
closer.
immediately.
I
Right.
know.
It was definitely one of the most front-loaded movies ever.
I
But I
mean,
think it
I knew
deserves
it
it
was.
for sure.
I knew it was gonna get there eventually because that shit just doesn't happen overnight, dude. You know how long it took for Avatar and Titanic to get up there. Like I
Yeah, I
knew it
know
wasn't
Avatar
just
took
gonna.
forever.
Yeah, I knew it just wasn't gonna happen overnight, but I knew it was gonna happen.
And next to be Endgame,
It was
Avatar
inevitable.
2.
Right. Just like Thanos himself. Yeah, I
What?
think it's really cool. And
It deserves
of
it.
yeah, true. Phase 3 overall, like I just talked about, one of the best phases of the MCU and uh, a very successful phase overall for the MCU. I believe it makes up for about close to half of MCU's gross overall as a franchise. So of course, it's gonna be hard to top this phase, but we'll see what happens with Phase 4 and beyond. All right. So with that, we're gonna end this week's episode. Thank you for tuning in. Cam, you got the outro?
No, not this time.
All right. Ziggler, cue that music.
Hey everybody, I hope you enjoyed that episode. If you liked it, please like, share, and subscribe. And click the channel for more videos and see our recent uploads and our interviews with guys like at Jordan Jomo from Instagram and the Wrestling Classic. Again, thank you for your support, and we'll keep on delivering outstanding content for you all. Thank you.